The sexual desire in a man is one of the most powerful, if not the powerful source, or the powerful energy in a man. This is the reason why when a man is just thinking with the second head, they cannot, everything else stops to make sense. It comes to a standstill. And the only thing on their head is the sex, the ejaculation to be specific. Now, the reason why men are having problems with erection and with all these issues with their fertility, on top of the list is masturbation. I just told you, if you go on Google and try to search masturbation and the negative effects of masturbation, it simply takes you back to the positive effects of masturbation, because the Western world has designed these things to make the man weak, sick, and so depressed, so that you become a slave to their agenda. That society is also making our women so chaotic, problematic, and sick, so that every resource that you're trying to make simply gets back to them through the women. That's why you have those hormonal contraceptives everywhere. Now, women, birth control is in the hands of the men. That's the reason why this topic is coming in handy. We are saying men are the carriers of the seed. So it is so useless for you to go ahead and take a hormonal contraceptive to please a man who wants to ejaculate every single night. If your man takes you to go and have that implant or that those pills, he actually buys those pills for you. And on rare occasions, do men do that because they don't know, they just want to ejaculate. Women take the responsibility anyway. So listen, when vasectomy was being introduced, so many men fought it, but now they are adapting to it. They want it. There was a hormonal contraceptive that was introduced that was called Gosipol. This is a hormonal contraceptive for men. How many of you ever had your man going for a hormonal contraceptive? Hey, men cannot take that nonsense. They can't. But the males, instead of them going to take that, because their responsibility, they're actually the ones who make the woman pregnant. What they do is they actually take the women to take these contraceptives. So I wonder, why don't you just do it? Like, if you really want to ejaculate every night, you go ahead and chop off your balls. So masturbation is actually becoming so rampant, and I already explained where we are getting it from. We're getting it from the identity crisis, lacking the identity, because when you don't have an identity, even if you try to fix it, you will not succeed. You must get your identity before you start to fix some other things. You'll get the help you need, yes, but you still relapse. And even most married women, actually, married men, are actually masturbating after sex. You still have sex with the woman in bed. You don't satisfy her, but you run to the bathroom to just have an ejaculation there. So start by fixing your identity, then allow us to talk to you about how to fix masturbation. Because even if you come to us to talk to you about masturbation and how to win the battle against masturbation, we will start by that identity crisis thing before we start moving towards the physical things to do. Now, these are some of the things that the solutions that you can do when you're suffering from this problem. Number one is semen retention, that I will talk about as the last part on this one. But number two is healthy lifestyles. When I talk about healthy lifestyles, I'm talking about diets, I'm talking about exercise, I'm talking about enjoying fresh air. Now, I'm also talking about you just going out, walking barefoot and enjoying nature. You know, some of you are so mean. You're thinking tomorrow, you're thinking that, until I get this amount of money, that's when I start to enjoy my life. You can't even buy yourself a shoe. You can be stingy to other people, but don't be stingy to yourself. Buy yourself a good shirt. Go out and eat that steak, roasted meat, fatty meat. Enjoy it once in a while. Go and visit the forests. Go and watch wildlife. Enjoy yourself. At least breathe, have fresh air. Create a network of people who will actually encourage you to do better, who will challenge you, not those who call you chairman. Be in the network of people that you call chairman, who will challenge you, okay, in terms of masculine stuff and in terms of all this. So join a masculine network so that you can actually improve your energy. And so I'm talking about diets on healthy lifestyle. I'm talking about exercise. So go to the gym at least 3 to 4 times in a week and rest, because rest is part of this process. Sleeping is very important. At least 6 to 8 hours of sleep will help you stabilize your hormones. It will help you lower cortisol. And when you lower cortisol, your testosterone goes up. We need it. Start fasting. A man who doesn't fast is a waste of time. A man who eats 5 meals a day and still snacks in between and still drinks alcohol, man should fast. Fasting is very necessary for men. Fasting, exercise, sleeping, taking cold showers, chasing a purpose. A man who is not sexually oriented, always just thinking about sex every time. When I'm talking about exercise, morning exercises are the best. Working out in the morning is super awesome because in the morning, your glucose levels are going up. So therefore, there's a lot of energy in your system. Number two, the growth hormone is actually going up because it's preparing you for the new day. So exercise in the morning. Go and lift weights in the morning. So that when you imagine you squatting in the gym in the morning and then somebody upsetting you through the day. It's not possible. On a traffic jam, somebody upsetting you on a traffic jam when you just had your squats in the morning. It's very difficult. So through that, the gym has to teach you some lessons. Okay? And you don't need to train in a group. You can train alone. Just go to the gym in the morning when people are still sleeping and lift those weights. Do a morning run at least once in a week. Go enjoy the sun to stabilize your testosterone and boost it. Eat meat, the fatty meats, enjoy them. And then every time you have the smallest wins, celebrate them in a big way. I'm not saying go and pop alcohol. No, I'm telling you, go and eat that steak. Enda ukule ile nyama choma so that it can actually encourage you to even do even better. Practice things like meditation. Before you go to bed, just simply soak in. Because again, meditation helps you to control your sexual desires and urges. So it's very difficult for you to start practicing semen retention without fixing this. So imagine, imagine a man who cannot control the things that are going through his mouth. He cannot control even the frequency of the things that go through his mouth. So he eats every time. Anything he gets, he wants. Mahamri passes, he wants the mahamri. This one here, he wants. Sausages are here, he wants. Is these guys who passing with the mahindi choma, he wants it. The mahindi boil, he wants. Ground nuts, he's there. He's in all parties drinking alcohol. Each type of alcohol, he wants to taste everything. This is a man you're trying to tell to retain his semen. Oh, yeah. You're preaching the gospel of semen retention to a man who cannot, who cannot resist food. Food that is going through the mouth. How will he resist the second head? Eh? Any man who can control his stomach desires, now you can start preaching to them about semen retention. So this topic of semen retention is reserved for the men who have tried to fix their healthy lifestyle already. They are leading a healthy life already. They are fasting, they are eating healthy, they are sleeping early, they are waking up early and training, they are taking cold showers, they are enjoying the sun intentionally, they are rewarding themselves, they are playing their roles as men. After that, now you can start thinking about semen retention. Ejaculation and orgasm are very different things. They're very different things. So every time you think about having sex and satisfactory sex, hold back the ejaculation. Hold back the ejaculation. It is not necessary. It was designed. The ejaculation is when you just release the sperm and the semen. That is a useless move if you don't want to make a woman pregnant. Now you'll hear men saying, that's the climax of sex. That's the time you're holding on to a woman so close and so tight. You're holding on that close and that tight, and you expect to retain the semen. It's not possible. No, you have to become aware, and meditation teaches you how to become self-aware and how to resist sexual urges. Find a distraction, even when you're having the sexual process. Just find a distraction. Maybe groundnuts, a snack, you can walk out. It's not a must that when you start sex you have to finish it. No, you can pause and do something else and then come back. Rehydrate with salt and water. Go even stand in front of a fan if you have one in your house, so that you can distract your mind a little bit and then come back. And then for you to actually, because this is a skill, for you to actually perfect it, you must learn through the process. You must go through the process. This one can actually start from the pull-out game. So unless you perfect the pull-out game, hii itabaki kuwa scam. Ati leo nataka unajua I've been ejaculating all year, now leo I'm going to retain. Oi. Na hii weather ya July. Uongo. So for you to do this, you must learn you have to grow into it. Start by meditation so that you become self-aware. You start having the ability to fight the sexual urges. Start by reading masculine books and some of these spiritual books that will actually open up your mind to spirituality and all that. This is after you getting the identity and fixing your life, okay? And then now you start the meditation, you develop the zeal to understand how sexual energy functions. And you will realize most men who don't ejaculate all the time are the ones who succeed in life. Why? Because the energy, I told you about sexual energy transmutation, right? Men convert their sexual energy into the ability to change things, to make things happen for themselves. So until you get to learn the skill of retaining the semen and just having sex without having you can have the orgasm. Actually, remember, when it's coming out, when the sperm is coming out of the semen, you will feel it. That's an orgasm. When it goes back, you'll feel it. So that's a double orgasm. But when it goes out, that's an ejaculation. Weak man, weak man. This is the time you give out your title deeds and all that. You give the fake promises that you will not remember a minute down the line. So you actually set yourself up. So don't do that. Hold back the ejaculation. And this will make sure that one, you get to enjoy the sexual process. Number two, you will not treat your woman as a sex object. Okay? You will not look at her as a sex object, because most of us actually think women are sex objects. You just get in and ejaculate and bas, I want to sleep now. So don't do that. At least go there with the intention of just having this moment, enjoying the woman, having conversations and all that, and pounding her to satisfaction. Now remember, as she gets her orgasm, well done. You're vindicated. But if you ejaculate and she has no orgasm, my friend, you'll be labeled the 1 minute man. Then you'll come here trying to complain all these things. No, don't complain. Simply fix what you have to do. So meditation is one of the on the list of things that you can do when you're trying to take control over sexual urges and you're trying to retain the semen. Number two, of course, is the pull-out game. Start by that, and then perfect slowly as you come. And you'll realize when you're trying to perfect the pull-out game, you'll realize ejaculation was not as important as it is. Because most of us think ejaculating in a vagina is the best thing. The orgasm is the good feeling, but the ejaculation is not as fancy as you think it is. Why? Because it will set you up as a man. One, if you're a 1 minute man, if you ejaculate, end of story. Two, most of the men have become, they are bored with their women. So sex is a responsibility, as I said. Most people who have had sex for the longest period of time, you can have sex for 10 years. So you can imagine having sex for 10 years, and then this woman is still here, still wants an orgasm. And you see, women have a threshold. So when you have sex with her for an hour, in her head, the threshold is 1 hour. Ole wako, tomorrow you do 50 minutes. She'll ask you, kwani umefanya sex na nani? Umetoka wapi? Kwa hao wanawake wako? A very tricky question. Because you set a climax in her head for 1 hour. Now it's up to you to beat that climax every single day. It's your problem. So if you set the bar so high, you will have to retain that semen, whether you like it or not. Because if you ejaculate and you've not hit that note, problems. And then if this woman ever gets a man who hits that note and goes above, that marriage, because women can only handle one man in their head. They give attention to one man. They can handle multiple men physically, but in their head, they're giving attention to one man. So you can be there banging her and pushing all this energy in her, but in her head, she's having that guy. That guy who beat your record. The new Kipchoge in the building. This is the same thing that is happening to men also. Because marriage sex has become so boring and you don't want to retain your semen, you're just ejaculating aimlessly, you end up ejaculating with another woman in your head. So yes, you're having sex with this one, but this one is a sex toy. This one is just an object for sex. In your head, that woman in the office who was crossing her legs and you saw the thigh, that's the one who is dominating your head. But because you cannot get to her, you're using this one. So most men are actually having sex with a woman and ejaculating with another woman in their head. Hello? I need water. I need water. But anyway, let's go back to us trying to retain the semen. Start by meditation, start by perfecting the pull-out game, and then graduate to the exercises. The Kegel exercises, the hip thrust to strengthen the muscles. Do strength training. Go and squat. Go and lift weights. Don't go and run on a treadmill. You're just topping up on your estrogen levels. Don't go and skip. Go to the gym and do the Kegel exercises. You can even do the Kegel exercises in your house. You don't have to go to the gym in the morning. Go and do the hip thrust. Push that weight and hold so that the muscles, the ejaculation muscles are strengthened. Now you have control over ejaculation. And then combine it with healthy lifestyle. So of course, meditation, exercise, aging, and then healthy lifestyles, the one that we just mentioned, the diet, the exercise also, and all that. And then a distraction. So that's how you start practicing semen retention, and you grow into it slowly but carefully. And when you pull one move, just the same way you pull a move on the pull-out game, and you feel so good about it. The moment you pull a move and get the double orgasm from this, and then you pull the next one and you get a double orgasm from it, my friend, you will simply become a beast in this thing.